Send it! We'll kill this carrot, or the flurry at least. I didn't think that was gonna kill, dude! Oh my god! Get the hell out of here. Landies, you had your time. Get the f out, dude. Sorry, I should have censored that. Now I can't put that on YouTube. What's going on, guys, and welcome on in. Today we gotta talk about Research Your Carrot. I know you've probably seen a lot of other people making videos, your guildies have maybe been talking about her, maybe Discord, whatever Discord you're part of, which by the way, join my Discord so we can chat, have been just hyping her up. Guys, the hype is real. Car's here to tell you she's the real deal. She's absolutely busted, insanely good. Honestly, probably too strong. But just for the record, guys, I'm sure I'm gonna get asked, do you think she'll get nerfed? I don't think so. I think Smilegate is kind of, you know, they've actually officially stated they're on a bring up weaker units instead of nerfing powerful units. That's kind of their agenda, for better or for worse. I don't think they'll adjust her at all, but I do think she's actually overtuned. So I will have some gameplay. We'll talk about builds. I know a lot of people, other people have already gone over it. I wish I came out with this video a few days ago because the footage I've had, I wanted to tell you all about this for a while now, but you know, I was a little bit busy this weekend. Anyways, it is what it is. What I want to hammer home is my build. I think what the easiest build to go for is, especially a little bit of nuances in there. And then of course, the fact that she is a 3-star, you know, easy to access unit that has no mola investment, no crazy gear requirements. Every single one of y'all can use her. She answers a lot of the problem units like Landy. Guys, if you ever had an issue with Landy, this is Landy's worst nightmare. I was popping Landys like nobody's business. Even tankier units like Ravi, who's another problem unit, absolutely decimated. And I'll tell you what kind of build and what kind of combo we did to achieve that. But yeah, guys, I can't overstate how good she is, how easy it is to build her, how easy it is to get her. I can't believe they brought her out in this state, and I don't think they're gonna nerf her. Just my take. Maybe they will, but I think it's safe to invest in her. And if they do, they'll offer a recall where you can get all your materials back. So don't worry about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about what changed in her kit, though. Real fast, Research Your Carrot, you know, 3-star, easy to access Fire Mage. S3, her skill 3 did some AoE burns. Skill 2 was a barrier that had a chance to burn the unit that hit her. And then skill 1 had a low chance to detonate. I think it did like speed down. Well, let's go ahead and look at what they added in the last balance patch, guys, because it's absolutely stacked. So if you were quick enough to notice, my carrot has Tagahells, which if you notice here, they're moving some Soulburns, or they're moving Soulburn from a skill 1 and just giving it built in. I'll tell you why that's important here in a little bit. 100% chance to detonate. Like I said, they built in the Soulburn on the skill 1. Skill 2, all the barrier passives are below with the runes. Skill 3, here's the crazy part, guys. Dispelling 1 buff. So she already, in terms of just being a burn unit, has an edge over a Moonlight 5-star like Silverblade Airman. I know SBA can stun, but one of SBA's biggest weaknesses is that you have to run a strip with her. You may still want to run a strip with Carrot in case they have a lot of buffs, but the fact that she can be self-reliant if your opponent is gearing with immunity, the fact that she can strip that on her own is huge, guys. It's absolutely insane, especially for modes like Real-Time Arena, where you may be limited or forced into picking certain things, or restricted on picking certain things. But here we go. Here's why the Tagahells is important, guys, and I'll go over Tagahells here in a little bit. Soulburn 20 grants an extra turn. This is the wombo combo. With a 100% chance now to detonate, guys, we AoE burn a unit, and with the Tagahells, we guaranteed get a Soulburn on Carrot if we want. And my goodness, guys, we were popping Ravis for 20,000. No Landy could ever live. A lot of times, guaranteed dead unit of your choice. The wombo combo is real in that effect, where we Soulburn, and Tagahells will give us just that. Tagahells is also a 4-star artifact. You don't need it max, because if you speed tune a few units to go before the carrot like I'm doing, I want to make sure she has an attack up. And then I'll be like cleaving with Senya, Lilius, or G Pergus before her. You could go as low as like a lower level Tagahells, where with all the other skill 3s, you know, we're going to get the 20. But if you can, guys, just max out the Tagahells that way just in case. Or if you want to run Carrot as your first unit, you'll be able to Soulburn if you need to. On top of that, guys, all the runes, you got just straight up attack and defense across the board. Flame Spurt is now 100%, and that's the big theme of why Carrot is successful. If you look at a unit like the Great Mortelix, Mort, guys, who, you know, is not that, he's very underwhelming. It's because a lot of his kit is very RNG oriented, right? It's a coin flip on whether or not he just works or not, and that's never fun. Carrot, they address that issue where a lot of time, A lot of the stuff that was kind of RNG, now a lot of it's 100%. A lot of Flame Spurt, which is that's the skill 3 instead of 75. Now it's 100% chance. The skill 2, excuse me, the Flame Spurt also gives a 100% chance to continuous healing. And then after being attacked, 100% chance to dispel one debuff from the caster. That's the barrier. On top of that, they adjusted the self-survivability a little bit on the damage reduction. Instead of having to be max health, it's now only 80% or more. You got a slight damage reduction, but I think that 80% is definitely worth it overall. So what does that mean for us, guys? She got so much stuff that just makes her more reliable. The new Soul Burn lets her wombo combo her skill 3 in S1. Her detonate is now 100% guaranteed. Flame Barrier now 100% chance to get continuous healing. The damage reduction is even better now. And skill 3 instead of 75% is now 100% chance. Guys, they gave her so much dang stuff. There was no way she could not succeed. And one more time, she's free. You gotta build her up ASAP, boys. She is so damn good. So let's go ahead and talk about her skill set and how I've been liking to run her. Now, in my opinion, guys, this is the easiest and best way to build her in the beginning. I'll talk about some alternatives at the end that I've seen work really well, but this is, to me, my favorite build so far, and it's, in my opinion, the easiest because a lot of it is... Don't worry too much about the immunity set, guys. I'll cover that here in a second. But the speed set, just going for a lot of attack percent here. I'll hover over the gear here real fast. That way I can play some footage for y'all of gameplay. But triple attack percent with, you know, I'm not too worried about the subs here. And guys, real fast, let me tell you, I know some of this gear may look crazy to if you're newer, but a lot of the mid to end game players, some of y'all watching this, you already have way better than this. I promise. I kind of just slapped on some gear lying around. Just triple main attack percent, and then I went for some speed subs to make sure I get the speed tuning that I wanted. If you're on speed set, guys, that's the most important part. Make sure the speed is where you want it. Maybe you want yours faster than mine so she's not reliant on other units. She can go first if you need her to. Or maybe you want to go a little bit slower. That way you can emphasize some other stuff like even more attack, maybe a little bit bulkier. It's all preference at that point. Just speed tune it where you want. But I think speed set, the speed value is so good. Remember, guys, every offense unit, unless they're a pure counter unit, is going to want speed. It's the best stat in the game for a reason, and that's why I recommend y'all to farm Wyvern. Now, let's talk about the immunity versus like something like hit set. Guys, I know a lot of y'all, let's talk about effectiveness. A lot of y'all are going to have a hit set, and you're going to want to go for like 100, 150 effectiveness. I think that's fine if you want to go for it. But guys, when you push to the end game, and almost every single end game player will agree with me here, there's units like T-Time Tenebria that we're gonna want to go for like 200, 250 effectiveness. That way we can definitely debuff all the problem, even the Soul Weavers and the Cleansers that build 200, 250 effect resist. We have effect units like that can cover that. But if your carrot is only going to have 50 to 100, guys, in my opinion, you just go as low as you can. I would even drop this 47 on mine if I want to optimize her, which we might later down the line. But guys, anywhere from 0 to 50% effectiveness usually is a waste of stats. Because most of your opponents, if you give them respect and the higher you go up, the more this will be true. Your opponents are going to be building their problem units that you want to deal with, like the Landies, any other damage unit. They're going to be building them with as low effect resist as possible because it's a waste of stat on DPS units most of the time. That way, this 47 is not doing anything really. Maybe when you're lower level, people have some effect resist randomly because that's just how their gear rolled. In which case, you know, having that hit set might be okay. Just understand later down the line, guys. And on top of that, in real-time arena, you build up effectiveness from the frenzy naturally. So even more so, not a great stat for this style of unit. Effectiveness is not a bad stat overall, just not for this kind of unit. I don't think you need. In the beginning, it's okay if you have some. If you want to hit set in the beginning, it's good. But I like immunity, and I think you should start aiming for that depending where you're at in the game. Just make sure you have the speed set, and guys, go as much attack as possible. Very easy to obtain. Just make sure you roll some attack main stat gear. Don't worry too much about defensive subs. If you get some health and defense, it's fine. Remember, defense is better for barrier style units because it'll allow the damage reduction to work through the barrier, in which case health is not being affected until the barrier breaks. So we want to emphasis on defense a little bit. Attack is the #1 because that's going to give higher barriers for defense, and then our offense, the burn, is going to be absolutely busted if you go for a lot of attack. Okay, so make sure you also get the self imprint. I don't know if I mentioned that when you're building up the carrots. So start farming those fire runes, guys. No need for molas. Just get your stigma runes, give her the self imprint, give her a speed set with as much attack as possible. If you have a Taga Hells, good. Let's go ahead and talk about alternative builds while hopefully some gameplay footage has been rolling in my post editing. But alternative builds, guys, I've seen like counter carrots work pretty well. Some people have a similar build to mine with speed immunity, but they like to go tankier, maybe dropping some attack. I'm sure some people will build some crit chance too, because even though burn units don't necessarily need crit chance, if you can spare some stats, it's always extra damage. If you go for like 85, that means 100% crit landies. And, you know, it's a good multiplier. It's a good damage. And she doesn't need too many other stats, to be perfectly honest. Now, if you want to go that slow grind counter build, run her behind a Troublemaker Crozet, other alternative artifacts could be something like, here, let's bring it back to the page real fast. Artifacts like Seer Ren. I think people have been liking this, or sorry, not Seer Ren, Etika Scepter. If you go for the longer game, instead of like a cleave like me with full offense, maybe with these proccing, you're just spamming out S3s, and that could be a fun build. Protect the carrot style build, kind of like people do with Landy. She'll take over the match slowly, and with how much survivability he has, especially if you give her more defense and health than I'm running, yeah, in a slow grind comp too, she will absolutely take over. Another unit that I think could be good is like Chatty. Now, barriers don't stack, guys, keep that in mind. But if you run Chatty, also scaling off attack, it means she will almost never have a barrier. The barrier uptime will be insanely good with Chatty. But in my opinion, I don't think she really needs that extra help on survivability, okay? So I think that about wraps it up, guys. Just one more time, hammer it home. All of you should try and build her ASAP. The fact that she's a free unit that got this much love, this many buffs, she's going to help a lot of y'all with problem units in Arena, Offensive Guild Wars, and I'm sure she has potential in some expeditions, Abyss floors. Just absolutely busted, guys. Build her ASAP, and even if they did decide to adjust her because people think she's too strong, which she's overtuned for sure, I don't think they should nerf her, though. It's fun to have OP units, and especially ones that are easily accessible by a lot of people, so that way y'all can have access to really strong units. You know, they'll give a recall if they do nerf her, but regardless, guys, let me know if you're running a different style build. Let me know if I convince you to build her up, and if you do run her, let me know how it goes, okay? I always like to hear from y'all. With that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.